Hey everyone, welcome back to MNMM PTE NAATI. This is Manmohit. Now guys, in today's video, let's have a look at the mistakes that you should be avoiding in your listening module of your PTE exam. And I'll go over all the topics in the listening module. So stay tuned for this one and do watch this entire video. I'll go with summarized spoken text all the way up to right from dictation. So do make some notes or rewatch this video again and again just so that you can also avoid these kind of mistakes if you're making to make sure you can end up getting your desired scores. It could be anything. If you need any sort of help and support with your PTE exam, like coaching, you can message us on either Instagram or Facebook. Links are in the description, or just search for M&MM PTE NAATI and you will find us there on Instagram or Facebook. Same goes for NAATI Hindi, Punjabi and Gujarati, either coaching or prediction files for them. Let's look at the very first topic for your listening, which is summarized spoken text. Now that's the very first topic of the listening module, and this is the only topic in your listening module where the time management doesn't really exist. This is the only topic which has got separate 10 minutes for every single question that you would be getting. So time management is not really a big of an issue. The only things that you have to make sure is when you take notes, I have seen students, they take notes in the keywords or small phrases. Do not take notes in either keywords or small phrases, because summarized spoken text also gives you marks towards your writing module. So we have to make sure the content that we are getting from the audio itself, that has to make sense. Bare minimum, you have to take meaningful phrases, long ones, or sentences is what we recommend. Have at least 3 to 4 long, meaningful sentences, and your job would be done, so that you can get your marks in writing. Plus, at the same time, you can get your marks in the listening module as well. Avoid taking keywords and phrases, the smaller phrases, at any cost. Another thing you have to avoid in summarized spoken text is the word limit. 50 to 70, between 50 to 70 is the word limit for summarized spoken text. If you go anything above 70 words, you will start losing marks in the form part of your summarized spoken text. So always keep in mind that more content always doesn't really reflect to having more marks. You have to follow the word limit given by Pearson, and we always recommend typing between 60 to 69 words at the max. Do not touch exactly the 70 words, plus do not go anything less than 60 words. Have a habit of having your summaries between 60 to 69 words. This was for summarized spoken text. Next one, I've put multiple choice single answer and multiple choice multiple answers both together. Both of these topics, do not spend any time after that audio has finished, during the audio being played. Now, first of all, in the exam, in the listening module, you have to listen to all the audios. You cannot skip the audio halfway through. If you try to click on the next button, it will come up with a warning sign saying, please wait for the audio to be finished. So we cannot skip the audio. However, what we can do is, once that audio has been finished, do not spend any second in your multiple choice single or multiple answers. Max you can give is like 5-10 seconds, but not even that. During the audio being played, have a habit of selecting whatever answer, whether it's right, wrong, doesn't matter. These two topics are not at all important. In fact, in terms of the scoring, these two topics are worth literally nothing. They give you 0 marks out of 90 in the listening module. And since these topics are not giving any scores, there's no point spending any time on these two topics. I'll rather save that time and give that extra time towards my other important upcoming topics. So do not spend any time during those after the audio. Check your answer, listen to the audio, mark whatever option you're going to do during that audio being played for both of these topics. Next one, fill in the blanks listening. So 3 things in there. Fill in the blanks listening. First thing first, make sure the spellings are correct. Do not make spelling mistakes, because even if you get the word right, but if you spelled that word wrong, you do not get any marks for that word. So that would be of no point and you'll be useless. So you have to make sure spellings are right. Second thing, always make sure the words which are supposed to start with a capital letter, name of a person, name of a city, name of a place, name of a thing, anything like that, the first letter has to be capital. Do not put the first letter small, otherwise you will not get any marks for that particular word, even though you spelled it correctly. If they gave you a name of a city, which is, let's say, Melbourne or Sydney, first letter M and S have to be capital. Keep this in mind. Another thing, fill in the blanks listening, always the answer is going to be one word answer only. It is never ever going to be 2-word answer. So even if you felt that when you heard the audio, it did say 2 separate words, it is never going to be the case. Either you heard it wrong, or even if they said 2 separate words, when you type it down, you have to type it into one word itself. So if they said the word, let's say, well-being, Now we know it's two separate words with a hyphen in between. However, when you type down that particular word, it should be typed down as well-being as one word without any space, without any hyphens. So make sure these three things, you do not mess up with these three things in your fill in the blanks listening. Very important. Next one, highlight correct summary. Now, highlight correct summary, again, another topic of your listening module, which is not that important. You get 1 to 2 questions in your exam, and it gives you approximately 1 to 2 marks in listening and 1 to 2 marks in reading. So it's not really a high priority task. That is why after that audio is finished, I always recommend spending no more than 30 seconds. Even if you feel you need more than 30 seconds, you should not be giving it more than 30 seconds after the audio has been finished. Otherwise, you're just taking away that precious time which you could have spent in other upcoming important topics. Another thing, make sure is do not just listen to the audio when that audio is being played. Have a habit of taking notes and highlight correct summary. Reason for that is if you take notes and highlight correct summary, the audios are pretty lengthy and the options that are given to you, they are pretty lengthy as well. So if you take notes and highlight correct summary, especially those important keywords and phrases, it will help you to eliminate certain options which are the wrong ones, and then you will be left with less options to choose from. That means you will have a greater chance of getting the correct answer. Plus, if you're taking notes and highlight correct summary, you're basically just warming up your hand, isn't it? Because when you take notes, you're warming up your hand, you're in the flow, and that will help you in some other upcoming topics like fill in the blanks listening and write from dictation. So always, there's no harm in taking notes. You have got the markers, you have got the erasable notebook in the exam, you've got time, you have to listen to the audio, so why not take notes and highlight correct summary? Next one being select missing words. Now, select missing word, another topic which is not that important. Again, you get 1 to 2 questions in the exam, plus you get approximately 1 to 2 marks out of 90 just in the listening module. So it's not really, again, an important topic. However, do not just leave any answer blank for this one. There is no negative marking for select missing words. Always make sure, even if you're not sure of the answer, just select something and then move on. After the audio, do not spend more than 10 seconds to find your right answer. Within 10 seconds, if you can find the right answer, well and good. If not, just select something, make a random correct guess, and then move on to the next one. Also, do not pay attention to the entire audio. We know in select missing words, what happens is at the end of the audio, there is a beep sound, and that beep sound has been replaced by either one word or group of words. So what you can do is when you listen to that particular audio, when you see that dialog box in front of you and there's a progress bar which is running, so you can see that audio is progressing. So pay attention to the audio, but the moment the audio reaches halfway through, that's when you start paying extra attention, because you know after that whatever they're saying, it's very important. And especially towards the very end, when you see that progress bar filling up and you are just left with few seconds of the audio, be very careful with the audio, because now anytime soon you will be listening to the beep sound. And especially pay attention towards the very last few words before that beep sound is being played, because then you can use your grammar knowledge to complete that particular sentence as well. So that would be for select missing words. Next one, highlight incorrect words. Now, in this one, negative marking is there. Negative marking applies. So if you are unsure of a word, whether that word was incorrect or not while listening to the audio, even if there's a slight confusion, best would be to not select the word, considering if you select that word and that ends up being wrong, you do lose 1 negative point for that. So let's say there were 5 incorrect words in one question, in one paragraph. So what you did was you selected 5. However, out of those ones, there was one option which you selected incorrectly. That means that word was supposed to be correct, but you thought that was incorrect and you marked that as well. So you do lose -1 for that. So that means 4 words which you got right, so you get 4 marks for that. But then one which you selected which was wrong, you do lose -1 for that. So that means your final scoring would be 3. So always make sure, if you're unsure of a word, even to the slightest, best is to not mark that and move on. And another thing, do not spend any time after that audio has been finished, because you have to select those words during the audio being played, right? So once that audio has been finished, there's no point of you staying on the audio, staying on that particular question, because you cannot listen to the audio again anyway. So what's the point of you staying and just trying to think? Because the more you stay on a paragraph, the more your brain will start coming back to you, be like, should I have selected that word or not? So do not get into that habit of having second thoughts. Just be done with the answers during that audio being played. And once the audio finishes, within the first few seconds, click on the next button and move on towards the next question. Last but not the least is our write from dictation, the master topic of your PT exam, game-changing topic of your PT exam. Write from dictation. Keep one thing in mind: do not type your answer directly on the computer screen the moment you start listening to the audio. Our typing speeds are not that quick to match with the audio. Best is to always take notes first. You would be having those erasable notebooks and the markers given to you in the exam. The best way to take notes would be the way we recommend is a 3-step strategy that you have to follow. First, the moment that audio starts to play, take either initials or abbreviations or both of every single word. Once that is done, start expanding every single word in your notebook. Many students skip this step, and what they do is they'll take the initials or abbreviations, and to save time, they'll start typing on the computer screen directly. Guys, keep one thing in mind. Your short-term memory cannot keep that 8, 10, 12 word sentence in your mind for a long amount of time, right? So what you have to do is, once you have got the initials or abbreviations, expand every single word in your notebook as quickly as possible. So that even though the handwriting is rough, that does not matter, but just be quick with that. With that, what you're doing is you're taking the sentence off your brain in your notebook. And afterwards, even if you forget what that sentence was, that doesn't matter, because the sentence is written right in front of you. And then once you start typing your answer on the computer screen, you can easily do so, because even if you forget the sentence from your brain, everything is written right in front of you. So that will help you a lot. Plus, make sure, do not add more than 3 extra words. Now, it might work for few people, it might not work for few people, and we are paying so much money on the PT exam, we don't want to risk our marks for no reason. If you are going to add extra words, only add in those circumstances where you actually feel that you're unsure of a spelling, you're unsure of either the word was a singular, plural, or if you were unsure if the word was a past tense or a present tense, DED, SES, or just the spelling of the word itself. Only in those cases add that extra word anywhere in the sentence, and that's fine, but do not add more than 3 words. The moment you start going over 3 words, you start putting yourself at risk, and there is a chance that Pearson may deduct marks for that. There's no negative marking as such for write from dictation, but we don't want to come in the limelight of the PTE software and then their algorithm actually identifying, okay, this sentence was 8 words, but the student has written 15 words. Something is dodgy and fishy going on. So we don't want to fall into that trap. This is what I wanted to share in this video for all the topics in the listening module, the things that you should be avoiding and the mistakes that you should be avoiding for these ones. I hope this was helpful. Any questions, feel free to put that in the comments down below. If you need any coaching for your PT exam, we do personally provide that, me and Mohit. You can get in touch with us on either Instagram or Facebook. Search for M&MM PTE NAATI. Links are in the description for you guys. And message us and we can have a discussion around the same. All the best, guys. If you have got your exams coming soon, I wish you all the luck. Stay safe wherever you are, and I will see you all in the next video.